How it goes, because I got four on the market. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It's been
All right,
fun.
hold on. I'm just waiting for Instagram site to let me go live.
Okay.
Uh,
I see here. I'm Kevin.
Hey Kevin, I'm curious, what is happening with your four on the market? Like there's not a lot of traction, or it's crazy.
It's like crazy. So I have this property I did 2 years ago. It was like my flagship. My flagship property is a 4 bedroom, 2 bath, in a really good school district. And we had two tenants in there in the last 2 years. We're like, let's put on the market and just sell it, to get back up and, rebuild some credit and, keep moving forward with the business. And and it's been on the market since like May, and I haven't got one showing at all. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
so I keep dropping the price, because I got a lot of wiggle room on this one. And but again, it's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath in the Pittsburgh area, and it has an ensuite, which is very rare. Like you can't find an ensuite in Pittsburgh homes at all, right? And it's been like crazy. And then I have two duplexes on the market right now that I haven't, like, I'm getting traction, people looking at it, but no offers. And I'm like, yo, it's negotiable, man. You come in with the right number, you can take it off my hand, just take it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been like a little bit of those issues with that, but other than that, traction, people are looking at it, but no offers yet. I just feel like what we saw like 2 years ago, like things you put on the market is gone next week. People are just being a little bit more hesitant, and mind you, I do complete turnovers, like rehabs and everything. So these aren't like, they don't need work. You just go in there, you can put somebody in there and keep going, right? Or you can house hack it, whatever you want to do. And then I have another one that I have in Oakland, PA, which is by the schools, and it's been on the market for like 4 months.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's been kind of weird, but I think it's also, I was talking to my buddy, he's a real estate investor, and he's an agent and an investor, and he was like, he thinks because it's just because right now the interest rates are just like, we were promised 6 cuts beginning of the year, it dropped down to 1 cut now, and that might not even happen until end of this year. That's what he was saying. I was like, yeah, this is getting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, keep it's all about slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
all right,
like to
well,
hear
in
that
10
because
years you'll be fine.
Say it again.
Yeah, in 10 years you won't think anything of it. It'll be like that was a weird time, you know? We just kept going.
I am actually, like, I was telling my wife the other day, she's my partner in our business, and I'm like, yo, I wish I could just hit a fast forward button and just get past this part and be like, oh, that was rough, like, it just, or see Doc with a DeLorean and go in the future and just, just say, hey, look at the other side. But it don't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
all right. Well, good morning, everyone. We are live, and it's the first time Sierra and Kevin are meeting. But good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good.
How do you
Good
guys like
morning.
Restream so far?
I love Restream. I use this from other podcasts.
It's my
Yeah, I
first time
think
using it.
it's the same almost as StreamYard, but it seems a lot less glitchy. I'm getting so now I got my notes too. So as you can see, I'm testing on and posting all your guys' channels, your links of people stopping by to watch. You can click on like Lauren's channel, Kevin's YouTube channel, Instagram. But cool, yeah. So a lot of people had fun last week doing the smash or pass kind of financial beliefs. So I don't know if you guys actually made like your smash or pass
Oh
paddles
yeah.
or all right, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
can you see mine? Mine's kind of yeah. I don't know. We'll
I got
see.
a whiteboard, so I'm gonna write them down.
You would have. I'm surprised you didn't
It's
come.
my from my homeschooling ventures over here.
All right, yeah. So let's see. Let's see. Where's the first one I got? Let's start off with something here. I'm working on them. We got captions. All right, where is it? Where did it go? Okay, here we go. So I kind of looked up some like Dave Ramsey, Grant Cardone, Ramit kind of beliefs that they kind of talk about quite a bit. So I'm gonna start off with let's see. So Ramit, let's go with smash or pass on conscious spending. So he promotes the idea of spending extravagantly and kind of like, on what you love and cutting costs on other things that you don't really, maybe care about too much. So what's your guys' thoughts? Do you guys want to raise it all at the same time? Oh, you got to write yours out still yet, Sierra?
Just give me a second.
I can't. All right, I can't. All right, I see. We all agree. I know. Lauren is a big Ramit kind of fan. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it's the perfect mix between, does cutting your Starbucks really make a difference? And like, kind of like the Dave Ramsey of like, just cut everything and live off of like potatoes and beans until you have enough of in your savings, versus you only live once and you need to enjoy your life right now. So I think conscious spending is great because you get a little bit of both. It's like you do want to cut your spending in some areas, but if there are certain areas that really bring you a lot of joy, then you can keep those in.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that. I'm not like I think I talked about. That's kind of one of my biggest flaws. I'm not the best at cutting back expenses or saving, and I definitely. But I think you got to enjoy, and it's really, as long as you have some sort of mindset on it, though, and you're not just spending foolishly, I guess, right? So, anyone else got thoughts on that? We kind of all agreed, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Lauren said it best. I like my little things. Like I like cigars. I smoke cigars. So like that's my little thing that I do, that I put aside for my money consciously and say, okay, you're going to cigar. I got a cigar club I hang out with every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And it's like my break from real estate, my break from my mortgage brokerage company, and my 9 to 5, right? And we just get together, we smoke cigars, talk about life. And that's my reset, right? I gotta have that peace. So I think I talked to my counselor last week, my therapist, and one of my therapists, she was saying last week, it's okay to spend some money on things that, or can reset you or give you rejuvenation, or things that make you happy, right? It's okay to go ahead and buy that box of chocolate today if you need it. If that's what you need to give you some kind of peace, or kind of get you out of your funk, definitely do it. So yeah, I'm with it. If that means buying a new BMW, if you can do it, do it.
I think the only thing that hasn't been said that I would put along with that is it's a good way to vote with your dollars too. Like if there's something that is really important to you that is a little more costly, but that's one of the ways that you want to vote with your money, then I think that conscious spending, can go a long ways. And that maybe like shopping small or shopping local and supporting, spending the few extra dollars to do that versus buying on Amazon and having it delivered in 2 days, whatever it is. I think all of that, what you guys said, makes a lot of sense. And I would put that with it.
Cool. Just check. So Sierra, did you connect your YouTube channel? And Kevin, did you connect yours?
So I gotta wait 24 hours to connect mine.
You didn't. Okay.
I mean,
I think mine is connected.
Yeah, I see
another.
another.
It says I'm streaming.
Cool. All right, that was a good one. That was an easy one. I think we're all gonna agree on that one. So, let's see the next one. Ooh, okay. So this is from Dave Ramsey. So, what is your thoughts on having a 3 to 6 months emergency fund, and what size? I'm a
It depends.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be a pass on this.
We like differing opinions.
That's why I gotta wait for you guys too a little bit. All right, so Sierra agrees with me. So why pass, Sierra?
So I think that once you get going, like 3 to 6 months is, a good strategy. But I think in order to get going, sometimes you have to sacrifice or risk that emergency fund and put that money to work elsewhere so that you can actually, get in the game.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I think about it. Because I think to me, like if you kind of put that at the forefront, you're gonna be waiting a long time, I think, to take action. I mean, a lot of times you're trying to build up that reserve fund and you don't, you're kind of worried about what's gonna be enough. And sometimes you might overshoot that amount. I mean, it's good to have some thought of how you're going to get an emergency fund, I guess, in a sense. It is, to me, the way I would look at it is, as long as you have resources, and like some people don't look at a HELOC as a emergency fund, right? And there's some people that will use that as an emergency fund. So, but I think as long as you think about it, or at least are conscious and be aware that you might need some reserves or way to access funds, right? Like even like your retirement account, right? Some people may not consider that as reserves, but some people will, because at least they have the access to use it if they need it. Oh, I see Kevin shaking his head over there, though. He's kind of.
So my thought is this: how do you get to the emergency fund? Sierra, you said put that money elsewhere, right? If you don't have the emergency fund or built it, you can't get it. You can't use it. So I look at the emergency fund more like a loan, right? That's my own personal loan, my own personal bank. So if I'm borrowing against my emergency fund, I better have a plan to put it back in there to make sure I have it. Because God forbid anything goes wrong, right? Let's say if you're using private money or you're using hard money and you have to extend your loan, right? Now you're going to a system of extension where there's more points to paying back your lender and things like that. You need that money to be able to pay your lender. Emergency fund helps out with that. So I'm a big component of keeping emergency fund. My godfather calls it my mad money account, right? If anything goes wrong, I have it. My dad calls it my godfather calls mad money, and my dad calls it a different thing. I'll think of the name later, but it's a matter of just having it. I think it's important, and whether that means 6 months your income if you lose your job, if you're working a 9 to 5, or if it means just having like an extra $5,000 to have access to, or 10 grand, whatever that number is, make sure you're doing it. And I remember what you said about like exceeding it. Try not to exceed it. Just have your benchmark, keep it there, and then you invest that other money other ways, right? Whether that's the stock market or whether it's just like maybe adding more to your, whole life policy, something like that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like in a similar vein, like if you can't save up a little bit of an emergency fund, then you might not ever be able to save up to invest either. And so I guess it kind of is semantics too, because like Sierra said, like putting that money towards like a down payment or investing or something. And Kevin and I are both saying like, yeah, you could maybe use it for something else, which in the Dave Ramsey school of thought, that's not really allowed. So I do think having an emergency fund is great, but I do also believe in using it if you're an investor, if you absolutely need to. But I kind of feel like as I've grown and gotten bigger, and I have more mortgages to think about, the emergency fund has actually become more important to me. Because like, for example, right now I just put one of my largest properties on the market, and I didn't want to have a tenant there because I want to be able to do showings. I want it to show really well and have it be really clean and look good. And so I'm using the reserve fund that I have to pay for the mortgage and all the expenses while it's on the market. So I use it. I would call it maybe like not an emergency fund, more like reserves. And if you're saving up for your first investment, maybe it's good to have a small amount of an emergency fund for like your personal expenses. But 6 months feels like a lot to me. I don't think that that's really necessary. Like, I don't know. 6 months is a really long time if you lose your job to go without working. I feel like if you are a hustler or whatever, you can find a way to make money in a shorter amount of time than 6 months.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with that.
yeah. So I think we all agree, just to kind of varying levels a little bit. So we all feel like it's important to have reserves or access to reserves. But so here's one in the comments. Let's see, we have Oh yeah, and Kevin, BuzzTune is Mikey. He's in Hawaii, and he's investing in Pittsburgh also. But he's going to reach out to you to connect with you. He says,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I would definitely want to have a conversation.
and he loves movies too, man. He's a movie guy.
Man, I'm always having I want to start having special guests on my other show. So let's talk, Buzz.
And then so RW Equity says paying off a 3% mortgage is a bad financial decision. Smash or pass? I'm gonna go with. Wait, 3% mortgage is a bad financial decision.
It's so circumstantial.
Very.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Come on, let's go. You just gotta throw it up there.
All right, I'll say smash.
Pass then. Yeah, Kevin. All right, tell him why, Kevin. Tell him why it's a pass.
I think it's never a bad idea to pay off debt. This is my personal opinion. It's never a bad idea, right? Because even if it's 3%, that 3% could be meaning that, if you're like 2 years off of paying it off completely, just pay it off completely. And then if you want to sell it, all that money goes back to you no matter what, right? I can't say that it's a bad idea to pay off a 3% mortgage. I think being debt free as much as possible is smart. Like, for instance, let's see if your kid's going to college. You sell the house, that goes to your kid's college. It's a whole different conversation. Like, what was your plans for when you bought it 20 years ago, right? Or whenever it was 3%? What were your plans for this property? Or were you planning to say, I'm gonna be the one Floridian retirees, right? The snowbirds. I'm gonna sell this house and buy a house in Florida now. It's circumstantial. It depends on your circumstances and what's going on. So I gotta say pass.
Yeah. But Lauren said what circumstantial too? So what?
Yeah, I said it's circumstantial because it depends on where you are in your investment journey. Are you buying a house and then paying it off completely and then moving on to get another house? Or do you just have the money and you're like, maybe I should just pay off all my mortgages? Or are you paying extra every month and it's kind of stretching you financially to get that mortgage paid off faster? Which at 3%, I don't think it's worth it. I think let that mortgage ride and take the low interest rate, because there's a lot better ways you could invest that money and make a way bigger return than 3%.
Wait, Kevin, are you changing your stance now?
No, I'm not saying my stance. I'm staying where I'm at, but I just did that part because what she was hitting on was right still, right? Where I think, I ain't changing my stance. I'm gonna hold on that one. Get rid of debt if you can.
Yeah, but I agree with you too, Kevin. Like, it's debt is still debt, and it's still, in a perfect world, would any of us have debt? Like, if we had all the money in the world, would we be taking on debt? Probably not. So,
yeah.
But there's those tax benefits, if you have that leverage and you really want it paid off, you could put someone else in there paying off that mortgage, and then you're not on the hook for that 3% because they're paying that 3% anyways. And then, yeah, I think there's just better ways to allocate the money typically. So is it a good or bad financial decision only? I would say you could probably do better things with the money, but psychologically speaking and emotionally speaking and situationally speaking, then yeah, of course, if knocking out the debt matters, then I'd be all for that.
Man, yeah, we all had this is kind of dope. Like that's a hard question because it's so it's like. It could go either way. Really, it could go either way.
Every time someone talks, I just change my opinion. I agree with them.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't disagree. Like everything both of you have said, I can't be like, this is wrong. You're wrong. Now this is like, it's okay.
We're here to disagree. That's what's.
But that's a hard question to disagree on.
Yeah,
because it's so circumstantial.
Yeah.
State Winning said if it's your primary, then paying it off sooner can be nice. But if it's a rental, which is a good distinction, like if it's a rental, let the renter pay it.
Oh yeah, Kevin, you should reach out to Stay Winning Podcast. He said, have you seen any of his movies? But
What
He has a
movies?
good YouTube channel also, so go check him out.
All right. Yeah, man. Hey, there's my Instagram. Shoot me a DM or whatever what they call it these days, and hit me up and let me know what movies they are. I'll check them out. I'll do a review.
And he says, yeah, if you can pay off for yeah, I think a lot of it too, just your comfort level too, right? It's kind of just like some people just don't want debt, right? And it's not wrong to pay it off, and some people, like you said, it's kind of sleep well at night, right? If it helps you sleep better or you're more comfortable that way, then like they said, personal finance is personal, right? And there's really no right or wrong, but I think definitely if you're trying to grow or scale, focusing on paying off debt first is really gonna kind of slow you down or hold you back a little bit.
I agree.
Let's see what else we got here. Yep, Strive for 25. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I don't know if I asked you to, Kevin. Do you know what HMU stands
Hit me up.
for? Someone says texts you HMU.
Yeah, hit me up. Right.
Yeah, see, yeah. No, that was an instant.
Yeah, hit me up, right?
Yeah, it was on a live, and I forgot. Someone texted that, or someone put that in the comments, and Joe was like, "Hamu, Hama." He's like, "What?" But let's see. Where's the other one I want? Oh, this is the one I like. So, smash or pass on diversification. Like, are you gonna focus on one asset class or focus on one, just strictly real estate? Or are you gonna go all in? So, what's your guys' thoughts on diversification?
Oh, sorry, wrong one. Here we go.
Oh man, Kevin. Hey, what? Yes. All right. Yeah. See, Sierra's always cheating.
I'm glad I did this whiteboard thing. I can customize my answer.
All right. So I put pass. So who put smash? I saw Kevin. Did you put smash also, Lauren?
No, I put pass.
Oh, okay. So Kevin, why smash?
I mean, diversification, in my personal opinion, is like you need more than one stream of income, right? And if you're able to do it, right? I've always, like, in my business, diversified, right? We started in real estate. We went from just buying homes and renting them out to doing a few flips here and there. And then we also have done like our mortgage brokerage company now, where we are, we're a broker, right? We're working with lenders and helping people, refinance other deals. I just have a thought behind of, like, I even got investments in like stocks and stuff like that. I really have a huge belief in, like, if I have my money split up, it is working for me when I'm not working. It works good for me. So I'm just a big person on diversification. I just feel like, what was that stream? If they say you need 7 streams of income to be a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal is to get 7 streams of income. In fact, I'm having a conversation tomorrow with somebody about a business idea for an app. So I'm always looking for that next thing that's going to help me get to that goal of maintaining the lifestyle that I like. Again, my wife coined the term of occupational freedom. I want that, and whatever I have to do that, that's what I'm gonna do.
But
Yeah.
would you say you would just focus on real estate, like one asset class, or would you diversify doing real estate and stocks, crypto? Like, would you be trying to focus on all these different asset classes, or would you focus strictly on one?
So my thought is this: what can you do to have that works for you with minimally, right? Who can you pass it off to if you started? So if I started, if I want to do like stocks, and right, I can buy somebody to be a stockbroker for me and give them the money and they can handle it for me, where I don't have to so much be on the in and out, eye to eye. Like, real estate takes a lot of your attention sometimes, right? When especially you got tenants and toilets, right? You got all these issues happening. So it depends on what you can do and how you can, so to speak, like, delegate. That's how I look at diversification. If I can delegate it, I'm adding it. If I can't delegate it and it takes all my attention, I have to wait until one part of my business is grown till I can add that part of that business as well. Like, it took me 2 years to say I want to be a mortgage broker. because I had to wait until my real estate business and I got a property manager and all these different things are kind of like leveling out where I can be like, oh, I can do this too now. So I guess I'm leaning more so to what Sierra said, pass first and smash. So I guess I'm kind of inching to that. So let me just go ahead and change my statement.
See,
All right,
cheats.
here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly my thoughts. Is that
Yeah. I
at
kinda
first, like you gotta kind of have a little more tunnel vision, and you can't be spread too thin, or you don't get a lot of traction. And at least in business, it seems like I've had better luck, like really honing in on one specific thing and serving one specific ideal client, right? And then like the more that grows, then you have these opportunities to diversify from there, and then it makes a lot of sense to not have all your eggs in one basket at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I was saying pass, but even in saying pass, I still do have some like investments in the market, and I have like a Roth IRA and an index fund, and all these other things that I am doing. But like I am focused on real estate, and I have friends who buy and sell businesses, and friends who just strictly are like day trading, doing that kind of thing. And I'm doing real estate. And I feel like there's so many things that you can get distracted on, especially when you're just beginning and you're like, okay, what is this thing that is going to make me money? Maybe I'll become a Amazon reseller, or maybe I'll start my, eBay store, or maybe there's like it can get crazy with all of the different options, and it can be like, what one do I choose? And I think you just have to choose one and stick with it and become an expert in that until you finally do start to get some traction. And then once you get traction, I feel like at that point you can decide if you want to like shift a little bit. Maybe you started in real estate, you started wholesaling, and now you're doing fix and flips, and now you're long-term holding and doing Airbnbs, and it just kind of grows from there. But I do think you need to kind of choose a path and then stick with it until you get some success.
Okay, so Lauren, do you feel like getting into storage units is diversifying?
I feel like that's it's like yes and no. It's still in real estate, but it is different because it's commercial and it's a business versus, but
Mhm.
I don't really feel like it's truly diversifying because if the market goes down for real estate, or things are getting stagnant and stale, like I feel like it's going to be on trend with every other type of real estate. So I kind of don't see it really as diversification.
I got a question. So my thought is this. A question and a response to that. My thought of storage units, like I don't see that ever going away. Like that's something that can be consistent. If you got the right location, the right price, and you have the right amenities with it, right? It could. I just don't see it. If the market tanked today, right? I don't see someone not having a storage unit, or that going away.
Well, it is one of those first expenses that people do cut when they're budgeting. They go, okay,
Okay.
what do I really have in that storage unit? I can get rid of it. Most people see themselves as only having a storage unit temporarily.
Okay.
So they usually get it for a month and think, I'm only going to have it for a month, but they end up having it for like 6 months to a year because they just end up not wanting to deal with it. But it is slightly recession proof, because as the market goes down, people start downsizing and they don't want to let go of their things. So then they'll temporarily move into a storage unit. But then at a certain point, it takes a turn where people start cutting that expense. So it is recession proof, but it also is one of those things that's on the chopping block. So, but yeah, I think in the long term, we'll always have storage.
I get what you're saying there. You're basically saying, hey, this is not a bulletproof plan.
Mhm.
Things can and will go wrong with this as well.
Yeah.
Got you.
But you're well diversified. I mean, who else does equestrian, farms or land, or and you do short-term rentals, and so you're diversifying in real estate also, right? Kind of like what Hugo mentions in the comments, and you can diversify in real estate by itself, right? There's different
Yeah.
ways to be doing real estate, fix and flip, short-term rentals, and like I said, equestrian. I don't know anyone else, doing that. And so let's see. And Sierra's
And
cheating. I
Tortoise
know she's.
relocating.
What is that?
Tortoise relocating.
Yeah, see, side hustle. Yeah. You ever heard?
Wow.
Did I? Yeah, she relocates tortoises, Kevin.
What? How did you even get into that? Like, that is super dope. I gotta say that first and foremost. Like, first you're an equestrian, meaning you got like horses and all these different things, and then you're relocating tortoise. Yeah, you are living the dream for real. That is dope. That you're.
It's country here. That's what it is.
Huh?
It's country. It's this country life here in Ocala. It's like horses and tortoises. You're dealing with like wildlife all the time, so it's like always around. But the tortoises really came with the horses, and I didn't know anything about them until I was dealing with the horses, and I'm like, oh, I didn't. And Florida, I didn't know that there were even tortoises here until I moved here.
That's crazy. My coach, April Crossley, she bought some miniature cows. And I remember one time on one of our meetings, she was saying like how the cows are making a steady income more than some of her rentals, or like just in general, like it's just like the income she's seeing, the cash on cash return. She said just buying the cows is more cash on cash return than buying a house. I was like, that is insane, And she's like, I'm thinking about buying another cow. What? And she just, you see, if you follow her, you can see her. She just takes the cows places and people take pictures with them and the miniature cows, and they're like, she's making, they're like models. It's kind of cool.
That's so funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw one in there real quick since you just mentioned April Crossley. So like, smash or pass on coaching or mentorship?
I'm gonna definitely go with this.
Let's see.
This is so hard for me.
I know.
I'm on the fence. So if everyone's smash, I'll go pass.
I'm going pass then. Oh, Sierra's a pass too.
In both.
Oh, you're. Yeah. I know what Kevin's gonna say. So it sounds like you have a great experience with April Crossley.
I absolutely have. I wouldn't be in real estate. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be as successful as I have been while having a coach personally, right? I can't speak on everybody else's circumstances or experiences with coaches. It's about doing your due diligence and just having a connection with your coach and just understanding them and following their instructions. I look at coaching like college, right? It's only going to work for you if you put the work in. College, you go to college tomorrow, you miss all your classes, by the end of that semester, you're going to fail. But with real estate or coaching, you listen to your coach, you do everything they tell you to do, you follow their instructions, and you just kind of build your own like network, right, in the community. It kind of helps you a little bit more because like my coach, for instance, she doesn't live in Pittsburgh, right? But she lives in the the more eastern part of Pennsylvania, right? But I took the time and said, I'm going to find other investors in my area to help me navigate these issues that come up in Pittsburgh, because the issues I have in Pittsburgh, she might not have where she's at, right? So it just takes that due diligence in yourself to say, I gotta also find investors in this area, so that way I know what to do. My coach can help me navigate like how to find the money, how to use the money, but she can't help me find the contractors. It's up to me to do that. It's up to me to make the connections. It's up to me to do the other part. So that's why I love coaching. That's why I love being a student, because I'm benefiting from it. But I can see why some people, like, there's some scammers out there. People are getting scammed daily. I'm on YouTube every day. I'm not saying these guys aren't doing it, but I'm seeing people say, I'll teach you how to make $10,000 in wholesaling in 2 months. I'm like, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it ain't happened for me. So I just look at it a little like, you gotta be careful, right? You gotta just see and hear and then actually see, like, talk to people, right? You got a tangent. Go ahead.
So BuzzTune is very shocked that Sierra's a pass on this. So
Yeah, and
Have
this
you
is a
done
hard one for me.
coaching? Have you
Yeah,
done a
I
coaching?
yeah, I actually do have a coaching client. Like I do some coaching. Um, so I think if you need the accountability, it's 100% you should get a coach. Like if you just do not have it within yourself, but this is where you have to really know how you're wired, because like for me personally, like for I just know myself well enough that like I feel like I can go find the information that I need and do that on my own. Typically, I have most people who are supposed to be helping me on my journey, like I end up having to figure out what it is they're supposed to be doing too, and like it's just not been my experience to have a great coach. At the same time, like I 100% probably would not be investing in real estate right now if it wasn't for Michael Zuber and the One Rental at a Time channel, but I never paid for his like coaching services. Like I just learned from him. And so I think having a teacher or having a mentor is great. Do you have to have a personal coach or like be in a coaching like group? I don't think so. Unless like you really are the person who's just like, I don't know what to do. I have some money or I want, this kind of financial freedom and I need some guidance there. But a lot of us are, at least in our circle, I feel like are really self-driven and self-motivated and like can go figure those things out and are going to get the information whether or not they have a coach. So I think it just is about knowing yourself.
Yeah, I feel like it's depends also on like the person. Like I do think having a coach can make a huge difference, and just like a mentor, really. I would use the word mentor more than coach, because a mentor just feels a little bit more like elevated, and versus like coaching to me feels like, oh, here, take my course. And I associate that more with like kind of these people on Instagram. I see so many people with coaching courses that I'm like, I know you in real life and I know you don't have enough experience to be asking people for money to be coaching them. And so there's a lot of people who don't really care where they are in their journey or how much experience they have. They'll pretend, they'll fake it till they make it and pretend like they have way more going on than they do. And but at the same time, if you can get around people who are just at a different level and you can increase your network and get around people who are doing things that you want to be doing, then I think that's a huge benefit. Like your network is your net worth. I do believe that to a degree. Like, of course, don't go cut out your like hometown friends or anything like that. But if you want to be in real estate or you want to be investing, get around other people that are investing, and it's almost inevitable if you really, really do want it. So I'm a little bit of both, because they're like, do I think the Instagram course that you're going to take is going to change anything for you? No, you could have gotten that information for free on YouTube. But if you can find a great mentor, then I think it's worth it.
I do want to clarify that my coaching was not just YouTube, right, or just Instagram link. She actually gave some courses of study that she went over and taught us, but we also had weekly meetings. She was very hands-on. I can call right now and have a conversation with her, and she'll walk me through how to get out of the situation or what steps I need to take to protect a lender or whatever it may be. I feel like my coach or my mentor, she gave me and my wife a lot more access than you might get from another person you found on YouTube. So maybe my experience might be skewed, because it sounds like to me the experience I got with my coach April Crossley, my mentor April Crossley, is not unanimous, because like we also had like when she was on heavy, we had every quarter and every like between spring and fall we had a conference we would go to, all of us to get together. It was a small our group of coaching students, and we all got together. It was like really eclectic. It was really dope, and it just kind of like gave us it was really awesome. So my
Yeah, you
experience,
get a whole new network. You get
yeah,
access to somebody. And that's the thing. It's like, how much access are you going to have to that person? I think is a great way to, like, if you're deciding, do I want to do this or not? I think that's a great question to ask yourself. Like, how much is it going to be just some YouTube channels and some courses, or am I actually going to be able to ask specifically when I'm looking at a house, do they think this is a good purchase or not?
And the cool thing, she also gave us like a deal analyzer that came with it that she custom made, and it's bonkers how good it is. And I still use it to this day when I present my deals and things of that nature. And just the access we got with it, my experience was way different, guys. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, they and them who are on the channel listening, my experience is very different and maybe skewed a little bit. So I say smash, but ask questions first before you do that.
Yeah.
I'm just a pass more from the standpoint that I don't think people are going to be like you, Kevin, and take advantage of it in a sense where I'm not so much pass on coaching or mentorship. It's just I think a lot of people put the money up, they spend the money and they don't really take advantage of what's being offered, right? They think like it's just going to be about information is going to be given to them or the secret code is going to be given to them, and they spend this money and they think all of a sudden they're going to be able to flip homes or invest in real estate. And like yourself, I can tell that you took advantage of what you paid for, right? You used the resources and whatnot. So I'm a pass in the sense that I just feel a lot of people put the money out there, and it's more they don't take advantage of what they're paying for. Yeah. BuzzTunes has a smash or pass for us. Working with a recommended contact in real estate when you don't mesh well personality-wise. Working with a recommended. Oh, you guys are all going. I'm going to have to come up with something. I'm going smash.
I can change mine.
No, I'm going to come up with something. I'm going smash on this, but you guys got to talk first. I got to think.
I mean, life's too short. If you don't mesh with somebody, then pass. I just think there's a lot of real estate contacts that you can make. And ultimately, if you don't have good communication, you can't problem solve with somebody because your personalities aren't meshing and you're having personality conflicts. It takes away from just solving the problem and getting through something and moving forward. So I'm all about reduce the drama and personality conflicts and find people that you work really well with.
I agree. I think it's very important to have, like, how receptive are you going to be to that person if your personalities don't match? Think about your own personal life or your own like business life. When you had a manager that you just didn't get along with, how well was that work-life balance for you? And how long did you work at that company? It's the same with doing anything that deals with your own money or investing. You're going to have like, you have to work with well people. You have to gel. You have to connect. I've had lenders that I just didn't gel with or connect with that it just turned out bad. Like I've never seen anything that I said, yeah, even though I don't like their personality, we don't get along, we can still make money together. It doesn't end well in my personal experience. But yeah,
I've had the same. Anytime I've tried to stick it out with someone that came recommended just for the sake of like, giving them my business because it was a referral, it didn't end well. So I'm definitely a pass on this.
I'm going smash because I think it's a good way to see your blind spots. So like like for myself, I think, like I'm very like, let's just roll with it. We'll figure it out. And, we'll figure out the solution where, maybe someone who's more by the detail. So like, honestly, like Sierra and Lauren, they force me, not saying personality wise, but they force me to come up structured with topics ahead of time and not just wing it. And, they rather be a little more prepared for these lives or interviews. Right. So for me, I think it's a good way to see all blind spots. Right. For, instead of me just entering a deal like, it looks good on paper, I'll figure it out. Whereas someone who is a little more detailed, running the numbers and more, going to do due diligence on things, I think that's the way I would say smash, in a sense where you're going to find people that have different strengths in yourself. And it just kind of, but hopefully it's not a real, like a butt head situation where you just can't get along. where, you know, yes, you might see things differently, but there still has to be some sort of working relationship there.
Yeah. I'll also say on the Smash side, is it an area, or is it a conflict where your egos are kind of getting involved? And is it an opportunity to just say, okay, let me put my ego aside and be able to like talk with this person, and maybe you're the problem. Maybe it's an opportunity to be like, I'm the problem. So I guess it depends. But that's the only thing I can think of as far as like a Smash goes on that. 'Cause I prefer to, there's so many great people out there. I'm like, work with people that you enjoy working with and that you want to see their business grow.
I like what you said.
Well, and
though,
that
like,
you want to, then recommend, right? Because you're building out your network too. And if you have an experience with someone, you're like, I can't recommend this person. And then it stinks, because then you're going to spend the rest of your time being like, well, I know who not to work with.
Yeah.
And then they make it on that list.
yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with that. I like what you said, Lauren, about like, is it your personality? Are you the issue? I think every time a deal goes wrong or things just doesn't go the way I planned, me and my wife, we come together and say, well, what could we have done differently? You know,
Mhm.
what did we do wrong? You know, before I blame anyone else or point the finger, I point the finger right back at me. I look in that mirror and I point in that mirror to myself and say, Kev, what did you make a mistake? Did you choose the wrong contractor? Did you just pick the bad house? Like, just all these different things go through my mind.
Yeah. When's Leslie going to join us?
You know what? This is totally my fault. I was like, I was reading it, tell her what we're doing today. And she's like, oh, that sounds fun. I was like, you wanted to join? She's like, I'm already busy. I'm like, all right, cool. My wife is very structured, by the way. She sits down, she plans out her day. She has 3 other businesses. She has her business where she does recruiting, and she picks her time. She's like, well, I'm doing this at this time, so I can't do that at that time. I'm sorry.
We'll get
So,
around though. We'll get around.
yeah, next time I'm gonna definitely be like, babe, Mark said come on, and we'll get on.
Yeah, this one is from me, from Hugo, but this is like an inside. He did a Sydney Sweeney smasher pass, but she hasn't helped me get to 5 million impressions yet on X, so it's gonna be a pass. Man, I don't know how people do it, man. I can't get to 5 million impressions.
I thought you were getting pretty close there for a little bit on that Sydney Sweeney train.
I did, but I think it's more because I wasn't active in the beginning. You know, I wasn't too active, and then once you kind of you show activity, then your numbers jump up super quick, and then now it's kind of like plateaued. Like people aren't finding it as funny. I think maybe I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Oh man, I can't even move this screen. Hold on. Where's the next comment? Great discussion. Oh, yeah. It says no cat. Let me put this one out there then. So Grant Cardone believes in 10xing rule. 10 times, or set your goals 10 times higher than what you believe you can achieve, and work 10 times harder.
I'm not sure I even fully understand this.
Yeah, can you paint the picture for me a little bit more?
So he just believes in like kind of like going all in, like where critics talk about like you can burn out or setting unrealistic expectations, but he is really big on go for broke kind of thing, like 10x it and setting these maybe to some people unrealistic goals, right? So are you in that? Would you say smash or pass on 10xing things? One.
I don't know. I mean, I could really go either way.
Sierra, just put it down, Sierra. You're cheating again. Oh, come on. Down, man.
What, are you disappointed every time we match?
Right. Like, did you want to be the only one the same pass? Is that it?
No. I'm
I don't know that I have the same criticism to that, where where it's being unrealistic is, hurting you, or that you're going to get burnt out. I think that my criticism is that it sounds a little reckless in a sense, and that, I think if your vision is to build, like, Grant Cardone, right, has built something massive, and I think if that's your vision, like, that's probably the only way you're gonna get there. Like, you have to be all in, and you have to go 10x, and you have to really go for broke. You have to go big or go home. I don't think that that's like the freedom that most people are after. That sounds like a lot of responsibility and a lot of weight, and it's its own kind of lifestyle. So I don't think that generally applies to most people, I guess, is where I'm a pass on.
Yeah. I'm a pass more so for where I'm at in life. Like, I think if I was, 18, 20, then yeah, I think 10x is a great way to look at things and go for it, at that age. But where I'm at, I'm a pass, where that, like CR said, right, that's maybe not what my vision is in a sense, right? So that's why I'm a pass on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I'm a smash for not limiting yourself on what you think you can do. Like, if you think, this is my goal, 10x it, because you're probably capable of a lot more than you even realize. And once you get started, you might find that you can exponentially grow more than you realize. So I'm a smash on that part of it.
I'm with Lauren on this one. I'm smashing it all the way. Why? Because me and my wife, when we first started joining our coaching program, we're like, will we buy one house? And like our coach is like, absolutely, you'll buy one house. Well, that house turned to 10 doors in the year. And now I'm at 26 doors and counting. I have a mentality where I'm like, before my daughter passed away in March, we were like very aggressive on goals. Like, I was going hard in the paint. I probably see, prior to March 16th, I probably would see 3 to 5 houses a week, just a week. If I get 10, I see 10. I had a house every day I was looking at, because I was just aggressive with my goals and aggressive in how I buy and how we buy and what we want to reach. The goal for this year was to get 25 doors. So circumstances changed because of tragedy. Where I'm not going to get 25 doors. I'm thinking, like, took a little step back, so I might get one more door this year or 2 more. But if tragedy didn't happen, I would have been staying the same trajectory, because just is how aggressive we are about our goals, because I have that philosophy, shoot for the moon. If you miss, you amongst the stars. I want to be with the stars, baby. I want to be in the next galaxy, because I want to go further and further than I could possibly go, because I just feel like if I don't hit the benchmark, I don't punish myself.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it like, you did your best. Last year we wanted to add 20 doors last year. We had 15. And I'm like, oh, I got 5 more. I was like, I'll get 5 more. Let me find out who's selling a 6 unit, who's selling a 5 unit. That's what I was thinking. So, and I didn't get that goal, but I still was proud of where we ended, even though I may not have gotten it. So, yeah, 10x me, man.
Yeah. I like the idea of, taking advantage of life. I think there's a lot of, it's easy to go like, oh, I'll get to it next year, or I'll do it tomorrow. And that kind of like mentality of putting things off. And so I do like, that's one reason why I like my calendar, because it helps me realize like how quickly time is going by, and making your goals a little bit bigger might actually push you to create some pressure to make you take action today.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, do you feel like you need to have the bigger goal to keep the momentum going? Because I feel like I'm operate where I keep better momentum if I just keep doing the next right thing. I'm like, well, what is that next thing? And like not even thinking about like how far that's going to get me, because I know that I can get a lot farther if I don't think that I have all this time to get it done. And I'm like, well, what is the next move anyways? And like just tackle that as soon as I can. So do you feel like you need the grander scale to like keep that motivation going?
I don't feel like I do. But well, I don't know. I think I do need something like, what is this all for? Kind of thing. Like, okay, what am I
Yeah.
working towards? I do like to have like a goalpost out there, but I also kind of like to have a goalpost that's like a little bit closer. That it's like, okay, I'm going to work really hard until I get to this. And then I get to that and I'm like, okay, I'm going to work really hard until I get to this. So a little bit of both. I like having like, okay, what's my ultimate vision, like vision board kind of thing, where it's like dreaming of an ideal life and all of those things. But then I do also like to have goals that are like closer, a little bit closer to now.
I like to have the big benchmark, right? So I can see it and I break it down in a quarter. Okay. So like, okay, 4 quarters, this, or however I do it. This is how, when I want to have this many units, or this is when I want to have this many doors, or each month, like I have a goal of how much I want to do in, mortgage brokeraging, right? Like how many deals that I want to help people refinance or get hard money from, or like business loans. So I have a number every month of what the goal is, and I got to get that goal or reach to it or get close to it, right? So I need it. I need numbers. It's a numbers game. We know this. We're in real estate. We're investing. It's a numbers game no matter what you do. I used to sell health insurance. I mean, in life insurance. They always said it takes 25 touch points to make one sale, right? So I have to look at the same thing. I translate that same mindset in my real estate world. Like I have to see 25 doors every day. I mean, every month just to get one that I like or one offer accepted.
So trade better. He has a smash or pass. You want to buy again in your current buy box? Does that mean would you buy again in your current buy box? I think, right? Smash or pass?
Okay, would you buy again in your current buy box? Is that what we're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Both.
You just want to be you. No, Mark, I can't let this go. I gotta hear this. Explain yourself why you saying pass, because I gotta hear this one.
I'm just a pass from a standpoint where nothing wrong with the buy box that I have. I think now that I've done it and seeing, like, I guess maybe how well I connect with people, or how well that I'm able to reach out to people or build relationships, I think I probably could have found the market closer to Hawaii. I mean, they're all going to be far, but I think I could have found something maybe in a closer distance, whatnot. So it's not that Pittsburgh is a bad market. I think Pittsburgh is a great market, and I'm glad to be there. It's just now knowing what I've done and probably what I'm capable of, I think I could have approached it a little bit differently and found a market just as good, but maybe at a closer proximity to myself. But that's the only way I would say pass in that sense.
Okay. Speaking of Pittsburgh market is very confusing. You ever invested?
No talking about Pittsburgh, man.
Huh?
No letting the secret out.
I'm just letting people know, like, it's very confusing. Like I was telling somebody the other day, like literally you can buy in one block and the ARV could be 120, and then 2 blocks away in the same area in the same zip code, and the ARV is 250 or 300,000. I literally live in a place called Homewood, and I'm close to Regent Square, Edgewood, and there's literally homes 300,000 or 400,000 selling right now and it's the same exact zip code. And wholesalers will come here and be like, "Oh, the ARV is $300,000." That's not it. You gotta know. Talk to a local, y'all. If you're buying in Pittsburgh, hit me up. I got you. Anyway, I'm smashing this all the way. Why? Because if you know your market, and you make the connections in the market, like I mean, you're going to the meetings, to the county the city meetings. You know whose elbows to rub or talk to. You have an advantage in the market. It's important to know it. I love right now. I love buying in Wilkinsburg. Wilkinsburg is right like a nice little suburb growing in Pittsburgh. It's a little tricky too. Like the market's a little tricky there too. But I know the mayor. I know people on council. I know people in the school board because I love the area and I want to help change the area. So I have an invested interest. If you have a vested interest and people see that, they're willing to work with you more. And you're not just this weird LLC out there floating around just buying everything up and no one knows who you are. If you create a vested interest in your community and you want to see active change, people want to work with you more. That's why I say always buy in your buy box and then not only just buying your buy box, make connections with the community. I go to the community day in Wilkinsburg every year. I'm there. When I find a house that's dilapidated, I'm rebuilding it. I take a lot of pride in it. I put my signs out front. I let you know that we bought this and we're working on it.
I'm moving to Pittsburgh.
There you go. That's the attitude.
Yeah, move to Pittsburgh. No, stay in Hawaii. It's cold here. Okay. I'm not going to sell you the dream, buddy. It's nice. Come visit. Come see me. Visit me. But only come in the summer or the spring. The winters aren't great. Yeah. I would leave. Can I move to Hawaii?
Guess what just popped up on my screen? April Crosley is going to be in the One Rental at a Time school community tomorrow. She's doing a interview or session. So I'll bring your name up to her and see if you're one of her ace students.
Right, man.
Yeah, see what she says about you as a mentee.
Hey, man, that's the GOAT, man. My mind, she's the GOAT, man. Y'all want to just like, I love April Crossley. I love.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that she's not on as much on One Rental with Zuber. So that's why he asked like who we'd want to see in in that school community, and she was one of the names I mentioned. I said, I'd love to see April Crossley back. So she's gonna come on tomorrow.
Dope.
Sierra,
let me hear from you. I want to hear from you, Sierra.
I mean, I completely agree on the know your market. Would I pick my same market? I mean, if I was going to start over, I don't know if that's the question. Like if you were going to do it again, would you keep your current buy box? And I mean, mine is because it's local to me and, as self-managing and doing that part of it, like that's kind of necessary. So I have no problem with my market. I like it a lot. And I think that I was thinking of an episode that Mark did with Stan, and he's another great example of like really know your market and be a local, because he understands how like the suburbs are like merging and the corridors where the values are going to go up. And I even did a post on X recently about my area. I mean, the population here where I am is only 790 people, but they're putting in a steel manufacturing plant, and we just got like the land sold that just down the street from us, and they're putting in putting in an O'Reilly's and another franchise. And I'm like, something's going on here, and I don't know what it is, but like people don't build businesses like that in towns with 790 people. So I'm like, there is something like happening, and I think that things like that can switch me from being like, okay, we need to keep this as a rental, where I'm like, maybe we need to keep it for the equity sense. Like there's something like that, the market is shifting here. And so I think knowing your market and knowing your buy box, I mean, you really do get a leg up on things. I don't think you necessarily have to have that if you're just playing a numbers game, but it allows you that insider knowledge to really exponentially grow and take advantage of what you know.
Yeah, I love everything you just said. And the reason why I love everything you just said, me and my wife, she's from a small town, and they literally just built a FedEx facility out there. And we're like, we knew it was going in, and we're like, man, we have one of our homes up there, and we're like, we should have probably looked at buying more here, because when you start noticing that stuff, and somebody said, if you best things that insider info is the best, like that, what you just said over there is like, I might want to reach out to you, be like, can I help? Can I invest there too? Because it sounds exciting. Because like, this is why I love these conversations, because you start hearing about other people's markets, and you're like, wow, that sounds exciting. Like, I mean, a lot of my buddies are talking about Cleveland right now. I haven't done anything in Cleveland. I'm not too far from it, but I'm hearing Cleveland is in a buzz feed right now. Like, people are talking about, like, it's a nice market. It might be a good idea to start looking in Cleveland. Cleveland's the one to make some changes. So I don't know. It's dope.
All right, so we got to wrap it up soon. So this is going to be our final smash or pass. And I'm surprised, like, Lauren and Kevin killing me. They didn't know who this girl was, or but hold on. Trade Better has one more. Yeah, you're up. Oh, trade. Well, hold on. I'll do Trade Betters real quick. What is he saying? Want to know the best place to eat in your buy box. Smash or pass?
We talking about literal food, like restaurants?
I think if you're a real estate agent, you better know the best place to eat in every zip code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just always want to know the best place to eat. So I'm a huge smash here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to tell you smash for real. If you're going to visit Pittsburgh, I'm not going to say it's the best thing since sliced bread, but definitely go to Permanis just for the culture reason. You know, putting fries on a sandwich is such a Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania thing. Do that. There's a place for get some pierogies. I'll tell you where to get that if you need to know that. And yeah, you got to know it, man. Because guess what? You want to meet people at places, and the best time to have best conversations when you're eating. I think it was Sam Walton. He sat down with the guy who created the first idea of like what Sam's Club and all these places became. I can't remember his name right now. They had a dinner, and that's how he came up with the idea to create Sam's Club.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know,
well, when me and Mikey come visit you, then you can show us around, man.
Got you. I got you, man. Let's kick it.
All right, here's the final smash or pass of the day then. So hopefully everyone out there knows who Hawk Tua girl is, and if it's a smash or pass, if it was funny. What?
If it was funny?
Yeah, just if it was funny. I mean, like, you know, was it? I'm going smash all day on this one.
I'm just going to say pass, because for the virality of it, I was like, well, I didn't know what it was until before this morning, but
yes.
But I was like, wait, is this it?
Yeah. She broke the internet, man.
We break the internet for the simplest things in this world.
Oh yeah, it takes very little.
It really does. I mean, I'm glad she got popularity. I just found out Conor McGregor's following her now on Instagram, which is cool. I'm happy that she's getting this notoriety with this, but I didn't think it was funny. But hey, somebody else did. The world did.
The world did.
Supposedly she lost her job. I don't know if that's true. She's like a preschool teacher or something, and supposedly she got fired. Yeah, but then she has all kind of merchandise now. She has like Hawk Tua 2024.
No, I don't know that it's her merchandise.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. But no, but
so that's what I was gonna say. Is that's why I was a smash on, is because like that's, you know, as someone who creates merchandise, like I immediately put out products that had the saying on it, right? So like following the trends, and like my Etsy shop got way more views as soon as I put out something with that phrase on it. So I mean, as far as riding the trend goes and riding the virality and like, you know, getting in on that, like smash all day long. Like if it's funny to people, then you know, I try to do something, with class. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful to her, but it is unfortunate, like how my only thought is just like, man, we really are recorded, and you never know. Like, you really do have to give it some thought before you hop on a microphone and put yourself out there.
Yeah, I just want to say this. I can see why you said smash because you benefited from this. I had to change my mindset on things because I didn't benefit from that moment. I made no money on that moment when I could have. Now that right there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they and them, is an investor. That's an entrepreneur. That is someone who's intelligent and knows how to ride the wave. I have to learn that. Teach me your ways, please.
That's BuzzTune says, yeah, he's like, what did I do wrong to see this in his algorithm?
Oh, I get so much in my algorithm from Mark sending me stuff. That's what you've done wrong.
What do you
Oh,
mean?
The cat video, the cat with the hands, they're all in my algorithm.
My whole feed is cats now.
Cats and
See?
Crocs. So that's
And
Cats and
Crocs,
Crocs.
yeah.
Trade Better thought the final smash or pass was going to be on luxury Crocs. So I don't, what, Kevin, I don't know your thought. Are you a smash or pass on Crocs?
You know what, man? I'm gonna be real. I've never wore a pair of Crocs in my life. Never.
You're off the show from now on. I don't think I can.
Hey,
invite
hey,
you
man,
back.
I'm
we
not
love
in.
that. We
Yes,
support
yes.
that. We applaud you.
I just never got into it, man. I'm a sneaker guy, and I just started wearing sandals. So now I got these little thong sandals, man. I got from when I went to Jamaica, and I'm like, I wear them every day, So I never just thought about Crocs. Now, don't get me wrong. When they made them Crocs that looked really dope a couple years ago, I forget who did it, and they did with some designer. They were dope, and I thought about it, and I was like, no, I'm still wearing my J's.
So since you're a movie guy too, you should go do a review on Idiocracy.
Idiocracy, yeah.
So it has a part, I guess. There's Crocs in there, but there's a story behind why what is it? The costume or whatever they decided to use Crocs in that movie.
Yeah, they wanted to come up with a shoe that was so ridiculous, right? That no one would ever wear. And then they caught popularity, and now like everyone wears them.
And you think about it.
Stop. Is that where they came from?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so it was like Crocs was still kind of a startup at that time. So whoever, they had a low budget, and they're like, oh, we're gonna use these idiot person looking shoes that nobody's ever gonna wear, and we're gonna put it in the movie, and then it's like Crocs took off after that.
That's
Another
funny.
thing about Crocs, man, that blow me is like it got holes in them, man. It
Yeah.
rains here.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like it just doesn't make sense for me in my lifestyle. Like I got caught in the rain with my sandals. I was mad. I gotta drive with these on.
See, BuzzTune knows he get cats and Crocs too in his feed from me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, that was a good way to end it. I think, I didn't get to see any Hawk Tuah merchandise, Sierra, but
I posted it on X. I made
Go
a
to her
photo
Etsy
with her
shop.
face on it.
I didn't see. I gotta go look back then. All right. Well, this was fun. Yeah, we'll get Leslie on next time, and we'll
Sure.
do this again. Yeah. So yeah.
Excited. Thank
All
you for having
right.
me.
No, thanks everyone.
Good to see everyone.
All right.
Yep,
Good to see
nice to
everybody.
meet you, Kevin.